Hi guys, welcome back to Car Compulsion. In the last video, you helped me say farewell to the M2, and a fond farewell it was. Do miss it already, but it was farewell to the M2, and now it's hello, Mini John Cooper Works. That's right, my M2 competition has been replaced with a 2020 manual John Cooper Works hatch. Now, as some of you know that follow my channel and new people won't know, I changed out of the M2 competition, which was a phenomenal car, to move into something a little bit more cost effective. The M2 is an expensive car and it's an expensive car to run. So when I was shopping around for something, I was looking for something that would deliver fun, performance, obviously not to the level of the M2, but I wanted something with a bit of drivability, a bit of engagement. I considered the Fiesta ST and a couple of other things, but ultimately what I landed on was the Mini John Cooper Works. And in the series of videos that I'm going to be doing over the coming weeks, I'm going to tell you why I think it's such a brilliant car. And we're going to talk about it in a little bit more detail. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at external features, a couple of things that I've already had done to the car. And we're not really going to be taking it for too much of a blast because it still needs a smidge of a run-in. It's got 17 miles on it. But let's get into looking around the car and I'll tell you a little bit about why I like it and a little bit about why I chose the things that I did. So the first thing I'm sure that you'll notice about the car is that it has some decals on it. Now, just to add a bit of reference point, the number 37 was actually the number on the Cooper S that won the 1964 Monte Carlo Rally. So it's a bit of a homage to that. A guy called Paddy Hopkirk was driving the car, and it was seen as like a massive feat. And that 37 is kind of like a representation of the number that was used on the car. The checkered flag decals on the back of the car were also added by myself, as was the checkered roof pattern. Now, I'm not a big fan of stickers on cars, and I've never had stickers or decals on any of my other cars, but for some reason when I saw them, I felt like they really worked. I was very skeptical when I ordered them to be put on, but turning up and picking it up yesterday, I'm really pleased with how all the colours come out, and I really do like them and they're growing on me more. I appreciate it won't be for everybody, but I actually think they set the car off nicely. And in a world full of minis, and let's be frank, there are quite a few minis around, I think it's nice to make it stand out against the crowd. A secondary thing that I had the dealer put on, and they were kind enough to do so for me, is the black contrasted mini badges on the front and the black mini badge on the back. My car is fitted with the 17-inch standard black John Cooper Works alloy. It does come in an uprated 18 version, and you'll see them on the majority of the John Cooper Works cars. I do like that wheel, however I wanted an all black wheel, and actually having driven a car with the 18s on it, the 17s ride much better and they offer a little bit more refinement in ride quality. And because my specific car doesn't come equipped with the adaptive optional dampers, I really didn't want to sacrifice like a crashy ride for the wheels when I wasn't 100% keen. The cars now come with a P0 or a Pirelli P0 tyre, a standard. This particular car doesn't have the run flat variant, and again that adds a little bit of ride quality to the mix. I will be looking to change these out, not initially straight away, but I'm an avid lover of the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyre. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and when I've worn these down a smidge, I will be looking to add those into the mix as well. This 2020 car is fitted with a variant, or what they call now the John Cooper Works Performance exhaust, but it's very different to the JCW exhaust of old. Like all the regulations coming out of Europe, this car also now has petrol particulate filters, and it does mute some of that sound. It does sound pretty good on a cold start. And it does sound quite good when you're sort of pushing on, but it definitely doesn't have the in-your-face sound of the old exhaust. Not that I mind that too much. I mean, the pops and bangs, not really a huge fan, but I think I will be probably looking to do something with this in the future. And of course, on the back of the car, the obligatory Union Jack tail lights. I actually quite rate. The car's colour is officially known as melting silver. Now, I didn't come into looking for a Mini with any particular, preference on colour. This melting silver became available, and it's actually a really, really lovely colour. If you actually catch it in the right type of light, it really does look down like a melted blacky grey silver. Looks very fluid, and it really, really looks good on the black contrast. I don't want to get too technical in regards to the engine and talking about all of the intricacies around it and what other platforms you can find it in, because I will be doing that in my driving review. But to give you a very baseline overview, powered by a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine from the BMW platform, good for 231 horsepower and 320 newton-meters of torque. It's certainly not a slouch, and you can feel that power within the car. It will do a 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds if you opt for the manual version, and it will do 6.1 seconds if you opt for the 8-speed automatic version. So far, I've driven the automatic and the manual, and I can say it's a great little engine, but we'll talk about that more in the driving review. And just a note on that 0 to 60 time, this is not the kind of car you will be taking to the drag strip. It's not the kind of car that you'll be racing Golf Rs off the lights with. It's not made for that purpose. This car is about fun, about drivability, and about just generally having a good time. But we'll cover that more again, like I said, in the future reviews. But I wanted to mention it. I know a lot of people get hung up on 0 to 60 times, and we need to be looking past that. And I learned to look past that a long time ago, because it really isn't always a reflection on how a car feels and how fun it is to drive. Whilst you do get a nice piano black cover here on the wind mirrors, this still remains chrome, and the petrol cap still remains chrome. Now, I think they should have been black. You can turn them black, but of course it's extra cost. But I will be looking to change that black and change that black alongside, as mentioned earlier, this outer rim here, black. Now, no one buys a Mini for huge amounts of practicality. We have a family car, so boot space is not, imperative to me. As you can see there, I've got a booster seat sitting in there, some sort of towel, an umbrella. The compartment does lift up underneath to offer a little bit more space, and it is quite deep when that's done. But, we're not going to talk about it in any detail. It's not somewhere you're going to get a lot of stuff. My opinion is Mini do very well on interiors. They're well designed, they're modern, they offer an actually deceptive amount of space for a car that's quite small, albeit not as small as Minis of old. But it's a really nice place to be. Everything feels very premium. There's the all-important manual stick. And the John Cooper Works comes with a variety of options as standard, and then in standard BMW/Mini fashion, you can option yourself up to the eyeballs. So let me just talk a little bit about that and what's on this car. The 2020 John Cooper Works comes with a reasonable amount of stuff as standard. You get rain sensing wipers, you get door seals, you get these very nice John Cooper Works sport seats. In the demo car that I had, it was actually fitted with the leather seats. They were very soft and supple. They were actually very nice. The one thing I've noticed about these particular seats is initially they are very hard. They're not an uncomfortable hard, but they're kind of almost like sitting in a plastic chair. I imagine they'll give a little bit. And then you've got a variety of other things. Now, Mini can absolutely burn a hole in your pocket when it comes to optional upgrades. I wasn't really into looking for something with serious amount of upgrades, because the long and short of it is that I was actually looking to save money. So my car has a manual and it has a comfort pack, and that is it. The comfort pack actually offers quite a lot for the money. It's around £900, but actually it gives you a fair amount for that. You get a center armrest here, which actually moves up and down. There's a little bit of storage. It comes with extended storage, which I believe includes that dip or lower piece in the boot. You get heated seats. It comes with automatic air conditioning, and it also offers rear parking sensors. So as a pack, it's actually quite good and represents reasonably good value for money. And let's not forget, if you actually want floor mats nowadays, you have to spec them in the comfort pack as well, because that's the only way they come with a car unless you buy them separately. Good old BMW, good old Mini. Another thing that the John Cooper Work offers as standard is the driving mode feature, which enables you to switch the car between green, I don't think anyone's really going to do that much, mid and sport. Mini's options lists, much like BMW's, run deep, and it will run deeply into your pockets if you start speccing everything on these cars, well into the £32,000 to £33,000 range, which is a lot of money for a Mini, regardless of how good it is. I didn't spec the navigation pack. Now, frustratingly, I liked the bigger screen, but you need to spec the navigation pack to get that. It's an expensive option, and I rarely use navigation in any of my cars, so it just wasn't a must tick for me, and it added quite a considerable amount of money on to the monthlies. Another option that a lot of people tick is the Harman Kardon stereo. The demo car I had did have it. It was good, but the standard stereo in the Mini is actually quite impressive, and I really don't regret not finding one with the Harman Kardon. Let's not waste too much time. The back is small, there are 2 seats, the legroom is minimal. If you have 2 full-grown adults or 2 strapping teenagers in your family, you wouldn't buy this car to transport them around on a regular basis, but for short journeys and things of that nature, you would probably be absolutely fine. I have a 2-year-old, I have an 8-year-old. Seats go in no problem, ISOFIX there, which makes life nice and easy, and both of them have more than adequate room. So no complaints with small children, adults and teenagers is going to be a squeeze. So there it is, guys. My Mini 2020 John Cooper Works. Hope you enjoyed the video, bit of a loose look around, chat, talk about a few of the specs on the car, and just give you a bit of a look around it. Coming in the next couple of weeks will be a much more technically orientated review around driving the car once I've bedded it in. That'll be going into a lot of detail around the engine, the way that it drives, but most importantly, if you've followed me over the last couple of months since I started the channel, I'm really big on how a car makes you feel and how it feels to be driving it, and whether it's fun and whether it puts a smile on your face. I think this is definitely going to tick a lot of boxes, but we'll get into it and talk about things, and by that time I'll know what I really like, if there's any dislikes. So please do hit the subscribe button, throw a like on the video if you enjoyed the content, and do join me back. There'll be much more content coming on this car and some really interesting projects with it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.